Well, it is the hottest June day ever recorded in the UK. The temperature has just hit 35.7 degrees in Charlwood, which is in Surrey, and a rare red warning for extreme heat is in place across much of England and Wales. That means there is a danger to life. It's led to hundreds of schools closing and train companies warning of potential disruption right across the network. Well, let's take a look at the situation right now. Those red heat warnings will stay in place until tomorrow evening. They cover much of southern and central England as well as large parts of Wales. Let's just take a look around the country, a number of locations where the temperatures are rising. You can see that temperatures are on the way up in all these places. The latest numbers we have show it's between 34 and 35 degrees now across London, 32 degrees in Nottingham, up to 33 in Bournemouth, 31 in Lyme Regis, and a little bit cooler, 28 degrees in Teignmouth in Devon. And let's take you to Kew Gardens in West London. It's one of the main places where the Met Office records temperatures. You can see that heat haze there, very hot indeed. I'm sure visitors to Kew will be relishing the shade under those trees. We can also take you to Bournemouth. There's the famous pier, looking very busy on the beach there, people standing in the sea to try and cool off. Our meteorologist, Steph Golter, is in Winchester for us. So, Steph, it is a record-breaking day, 35.7 degrees Celsius recorded in Charlwood in Surrey.
That's right, and the temperatures haven't actually finished rising yet. So that was a late temperature that came in for the 1500 obs. So we're still waiting for the 1600. So they could get even higher than that. But yes, provisionally, we've already made it to the hottest June day ever seen in the UK.
Yeah, the last time was 1976, is that right?
That's right, 1976. So that record has stood for 50 years. And at the current record, there's a chance that we could break that in the next coming years because the baseline for heat, for temperatures, is now that little bit higher. So it doesn't take as extreme conditions for the temperatures to get that bit higher than... So if we had the same setup as we did in 1976, put it like this, they'd be hotter today.
Yeah, and it's going to be another hot night. And how are things looking for the next couple of days?
Yeah, so another very uncomfortable night, a lot of very grumpy people around, but tomorrow, and then, of course, another very hot day tomorrow. But what we're expecting Thursday night are some thunderstorms to break out in the southwest and then gradually run their way across parts of England and Wales. Now, thunderstorms are quite hit and miss. Some people might see them, and a lot of them, and lots of lightning. Other people might not be so lucky and may stay with that muggy heat. But what that's doing, and those thunderstorms, is it's beginning of a change. So it's the beginning of the end of this heat wave. It is still going to be hot on Friday and probably Saturday for some of us as well. But slowly the winds from the southwest are starting to chase away the extreme heat. And by the time we get to Sunday, the temperatures will be a lot more bearable than they are now.
And Steph, we keep hearing about Europe also struggling under this extreme heat. What is a heat dome? Because we're all under that at the moment.
Yeah, so with a high pressure, generally the atmosphere kind of bulges upwards. It's a natural thing. It's because with a high pressure, there is more air on top of you and it's pushing down. So it is sort of like a dome if you looked at it from the side. That's what all high pressures are. This one is a particularly intense high pressure, as you probably have noticed. So this one is a particularly, acute dome.
And just remind us, Steph, the hottest ever day in the UK. I mean, is there a chance that we could break that as well?
Well, the hottest ever day was 40.3. That was in 2022. And tomorrow will be hotter than today. Will it be that much hotter? Well, that's a question we'll have to wait to see what happens. But I personally don't think we'll get quite that extreme. There's about a 20% chance we'll get to 40 degrees. And so to get to 40.3, it would take a bit of a push. Normally, when you get to about 38, 39, with the conditions we have, that's when we start seeing a bit of convection, and that will give us a bit more cloud and will keep the temperatures down. So I don't think, let me stick my neck out, I don't think we're going to get to 40.3.
OK, all right, but we have broken the hottest ever June day, 35.7 in Charlwood in Surrey. Steph, thank you very much for the moment. Let's go to our correspondent Olivia Guthrie, who is in West London. How are they coping with these record-breaking temperatures where you are?
Well, I hope you'll forgive me looking a little hot and flustered, even though we haven't here in Richmond quite reached those Charlwood highs of 35.7 degrees Celsius. It is still extremely hot here. There are some hardy people sunbathing and paddleboarding here in Richmond, but most people do appear to be keeping out of the heat. The Met Office extending their red weather warning now to an extra 3 hours and to include much of the south coast. So we now have Brighton, Bognor Regis, Portsmouth, Southampton, Bournemouth and Dorchester included in that red weather warning, in an area that stretches from London to Swansea and from Birmingham to Somerset. And that is all because of this heat dome that has settled over Western Europe, with some experts saying, although there is just a 1 in 5 chance, it could be that we reach temperatures as high as 40 degrees Celsius, near that all-time high of 40.3 degrees Celsius in Lincolnshire in 2022. Now, that case was when the first ever red weather warning was issued, and of course we now have one in place again. Now, what does that mean? Well, the Met Office says that it is a danger to life, and that's not just to children and elderly and people with health issues, but it is also a risk to healthy people as well. Schools across the country have been closed or are closing early. There's disruption to transport links, and people are very much being urged to stay indoors, to keep their curtains closed, to avoid public transport and to stay hydrated. As we've been hearing, those overnight temperatures in much of England not coming below 20 degrees Celsius. These tropical nights, experts say, meaning that people are unable to recover from the heat of today. And with those overnight temperatures expected to go up again and this red weather warning to continue into tomorrow night. And even after that, the Met Office says there is an amber weather warning for much of England in Friday and Saturday. Well, there's not much of a let-up just yet of these extreme temperatures.
And of course, you've got the beautiful Thames behind you. It is tempting, isn't it, to go forward it to cool down. But again, that comes with warnings as well.
Well, indeed, yes. Experts are saying that because of the heat, obviously, people are going to be trying to cool off in waterways. I wouldn't recommend trying to cool off in the River Thames, certainly, but they are also urging people to take great care in all waterways in the ocean as well, to avoid going out of their depth or coming to any danger.